Hey guys, Adam here in Comic Scene. First things first, sorry I've been away for a while. Been trying to catch up on all my nerd shows like Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and trying to get back to my Gotham. Trying something different. Uh, Before I was doing like picture podcast or narratives of the comics that I read, but due to copyright laws, I don't want to get flagged or anything. Haven't gotten flagged yet, however, don't want to take the chance. So I'm going to start taking videos down. So anyway, we're going to dive into The Killing Joke. This is my review on the graphic novel versus the Blu-ray with some fun facts. So let's dive in. Batman The Killing Joke is a one-shot graphic novel that was published by DC Comics in 1988. It's a loose adaptation of the Joker's origin, loosely based on the man behind the Red Hood. So, anyway, it was illustrated and written by Alan Moore and Brian Bolland. Let's talk Alan Moore for a second. Alan Moore did the works of Watchmen and V for Vendetta. Also did some work on Swamp Thing. And he also did some work on The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which eventually I'll get into this and we'll talk about that. So, the movie, Anyway, did I mention the man behind the Red Hood? That comic was published by DC in 1951, and it was written by the man behind the Cane and Cowl. I don't know if anybody's going to catch that pun, but whatever. It's Bill Finger. Bill Finger is the co-creator for Batman and many of his villains. He didn't get the credit that he deserved, but over the years, shortly after his death, they started crediting him to a lot of the DC characters. So, yeah. So, the graphic novel versus the movie. One cool little fun fact, Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and Tara Strong all came back from the animated series and did the voices for Batman, the Joker, and Batgirl. So I thought that was cool. Fun little fact about Mark Hamill. I don't know if you guys know, but there was an interview with him where he said that he wasn't going to be doing the voice of the Joker anymore after the animated series and after the games, Arkham Asylum and City. But he said that if they did The Killing Joke and asked him to do the voice of the Joker, he said he was all for it. So, lo and behold, bam, we have the animated film and we have his voice. So, they made the animated film rated R, and that's because there were some certain graphic images and a sex scene. People got pissed off about it because the sex scene was between Barbara Gordon and Batman, and I don't know why they had to add that in there. I guess it was kind of filler. I mean, there's always been kind of something there, but to me, it's always been a like father type deal with him and all his companions. But they made him bone, and you know, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm a bat freak, of course, so I'm gonna love it regardless. I didn't think it was like blasphemy or anything, but not trying to sound like a perv or anything. One thing that kind of pissed me off, if you are going to show a sex scene, show it. All they showed was Barbara Gordon taking off her bat suit, and it panned up. You didn't even see anything. So, anyway, the side-by-side of the Blu-ray, DVD, whatever, versus the graphic novel, to me, was almost uncanny. Like, when I watched it for the first time, I had my book next to me, and I was looking at the pages, looking at the screen. I was like, holy shit, it's like watching the comic come to life. So I thought it was pretty awesome. I mean, they even had the park owner that's selling the park to Joker. Spoilers, if you haven't fucking read it, shame on you. If you haven't seen it, fucking shame on you. But yeah, they even had his rictus grin like the same, so I thought it was fucking awesome. There was a few scenes where they had certain parts of the graphic novel kind of mixed up, and I don't know why they did that, but you know, no biggie. They still got pretty much the animated film to the T of this graphic novel. It's again, I'm very pleased. I don't regret buying it. Don't regret getting the graphic novel. Well, of course, I'm not going to regret getting that. But yeah, the main premise of both film and book is Batman trying to talk to the Joker and just kind of have a heart-to-heart with him. You know, like they've been doing this for years. Joker breaks out of Arkham. Batman grabs him, you know, puts him back into Arkham. After all this chaos, he breaks out. So he's just trying to talk about this cycle. And, you know, in the beginning of it, he's talking to the Joker. Again, spoilers. And he's saying, you know, one of us is going to end up dead, whether it's him, Batman. And he's trying to talk, and come to find out, the guy he's talking to is like a double, I guess you could say, for the Joker. It's a guy in white makeup and green hair, and Batman flips his shit and fucking starts pounding on him, you know, saying, you know, do you know what you've done? You've let loose a monster. And the Joker had escaped, bought this amusement park, and he ends up going to Barbara Gordon's house because he knows that that's Jim Gordon's daughter, and Jim Gordon's like a stand-up guy, you know, he's a very straight-laced type dude. So anyway, he shows up at the apartment, and he shoots her, again, spoilers, and he doesn't kill her, he shoots her through the spine, which paralyzes her, and he takes off her clothes and starts taking pictures all in front of Jim, and, you know, him and his croonies punch, you know, beat up on Jim, knock him out and stuff. Jim wakes up. He's at the carnival, and come to find out, the Joker's going to send him through on this roller coaster that shows all these images of Barbara Gordon bleeding out, naked. And the whole premise of this story is that the Joker is trying to prove that all it takes is one bad day, one fucked up day, to drive the sanest man to lunacy. And Batman shows up, rescues Jim. Jim's a little fucked up, but he ain't like losing his mind. I mean, Barbara's still alive, you know. After the Joker and Batman's fight scene, you know, Batman again brings up the conversation, you know, one of us is going to die. You know, who is it going to be? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be you? Is it going to be both of us? What is the end game? What is the end of this story? And you know, he's saying to the Joker, I can help you, you know, if you just let me, maybe we can correct what happened to you. And another cool thing about this graphic novel is that, like I said, it's based on two timelines. It's present day in the comic, and then it goes to flashback scenes to the Joker, and it's before he got dropped into the chemical bath, because they're still going with that whole story. It's going back, he was a failed comic that had, and when I say comic, I mean like comedian. He was a failed comedian that had a pregnant wife at home. He wasn't making ends meet, he wasn't getting paid, and he decided to go and talk to these gangsters to do a heist at some factory next to a chemical factory. And things go awry, of course. Batman shows up, he gets knocked into the chemical bath, and he gets out, and he's disfigured, and he becomes the Joker. So that was part of his bad day, not to mention his wife that was pregnant died. She got electrocuted, or I think it was like an electrical fire or something at the apartment, because they lived in like some slums. But anyway, the end of this story, the reason they call it The Killing Joke is because at the very end, you know, Batman again is trying to tell him, you know, I can help you, and, you know, maybe we can correct what happened to you. And the Joker says, you know, it's too late, you know, nothing's going to work. And they're kind of having a heart-to-heart, which is weird. You should never really see that. Joker decides to tell the joke, and after he tells this joke, he starts cracking up, and Batman starts cracking up, and they both start laughing. And in the panels and on the movie, it shows, you know, Batman putting his hands on the Joker, on his shoulders, and in the comic you see ha 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 ha. It's like in a rainy scene, and the laughter just stops. And it does the same thing in the animated film. The laughter just stops. So you don't really know what happens. You don't know whether the Joker killed Batman, whether Batman finally flipped out and snapped his neck, or what. So this leaves you to question. So again, I loved this. I loved the animated film. I don't know. It was great to me. I had a really good time with it. I learned some cool fun facts. In Crisis, that whole story arc in DC, Booster Gold is sent back in time from his father / Time Lord, which is Rip Hunter. And if anybody's watching DC's Legends, he's like the main guy on that show. But anyway, sends him back in time to go stop the Joker before he shoots Barbara. But he doesn't make it in time. Barbara still got shot and stuff, but Booster Gold beats the fuck out of the Joker and shit, so it was kind of cool. A lot of cool things spawned from this graphic novel, like this damn good fucking movie. And if y'all haven't seen it, I think you should, because it's good. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my little review. I hope you guys like the way that I'm doing these videos now. So yeah, hit that little subscribe button, and we're diving more into the world of comics. And the next comic that I'm probably going to be talking about is all 3 Superman Red Suns. I'm not a Superman guy, but this story sounds pretty cool, so stay tuned, and yeah, subscribe and enjoy, and leave me some corrective criticism, some comments. I take it. So yeah, enjoy.